Hi guys, so Kylie and I, as you know, are freshmen at Butler University, and today we thought we'd make a video talking about how we decided which college we wanted to go to. And we know as juniors and seniors in high school, that can be one of the biggest decisions to make, and that it can be really scary and hard to sort through all the options. We hope that this video helps you make a more confident and informed decision. So first, it kind of depends whether you know or not what field you want to go into. So if you do know, then that is the most important thing we believe when looking at the different programs of different colleges.
Is if they have the best program that's offered in like your state, maybe look into that, or maybe look at the, like for us, for PA school, there was only like 3 colleges in all of Indiana that offer a PA school. So you really want to like look at their undergraduate programs and see what is the best option to get into those PA schools.
Like at Butler, the pharmacy graduate school has a direct admit program where if they go to undergrad,
if they get accepted to pre-pharmacy, they're in to pharmacy graduate.
The PA school at Butler also has a similar, it's not a direct admit, but it's called select internal admission.
Basically, of the certain amount of seats that are available in the PA school, there's 60% held for Butler students that were in the undergraduate programs, and then the other 40% are transfers from anywhere else.
So basically your chances of getting in as a Butler undergraduate student is much higher than if you're coming from anywhere else, and it's going to be a much less competitive process. So that's what led us here. Yeah, and then besides like an internal admission or a direct admit program, a lot of colleges have great reputations for their programs. Have an undergraduate degree from a school with a great reputation in that field, you're gonna have a better chance at getting those top-notch jobs. All right, so the next factor to consider is the size and the location of the school. For me, I did not want to go to somewhere that was basically over 3 hours away. So location and the distance from home was a big factor for me.
Now that I'm here, I realize that it's so convenient, but yet it's a good amount of distance to where I feel like I'm having my own experiences away from home.
We have popcorn.
So especially for our case, for PA school here in Indy, there's a lot of opportunity, especially with different hospitals and clinics. So when we start our PA rotations, there's going to be a lot of more opportunity to make connections.
That's something to consider, whether there's great opportunities in your field.
When I was starting to look at a college, people were like, do you want a large school or like a medium-sized school or like a small school? And at first I was like, I don't know. But then once I started to really think about it, when it comes to a larger school, I felt personally that I would just like a number in a system type of thing. And so a smaller school, you obviously have more of an opportunity to get to know your professors and they know you.
I went to a pretty big high school, and I always imagined myself at a big state school. For me, Purdue was always my number one since I was little, pretty much. I didn't want to go to a dinky little college and kind of be disappointed after like the big high school experience. But when I started visiting the bigger schools, it kind of dawned on me really how big these schools are. A half hour to get across campus. So you kind of have to weigh your options and what kind of experience you want. So obviously when you get to college, you want to get a group of friends and to feel a part of a community. And you can do this at either a small, medium, or large college. However, I will say that it's so much easier, in my opinion, at a smaller school. I felt like we had a group of friends in the first week of college here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder to get your group of friends. Not impossible at all, just might take more time.
And also at a bigger school, you also don't see the same people consistently. Not that we see the same people, there's always new faces that I see all the time, but yet there's similar faces that I've already met. That kind of makes it more,
just makes the school feel smaller. Bigger schools have lots of opportunities. They're the ones with maybe the great reputations of programs, and you have to weigh out for you what's the most important thing. Okay, so obviously what a lot of students are concerned about and what a very big factor is the cost of the college. And this is pretty obvious, but you can either go in-state or out-of-state, and private or public. So your in-state public schools are going to be the least expensive, and your out-of-state private schools are going to be the most expensive. So when you're searching on Google or looking around, don't just look at the flat price that's listed online. Because I think online Butler's like $54,000, and I guarantee no one at Butler is paying that.
No, definitely not.
So, whereas the price online at IU is what a lot of kids are paying for. So, a lot of these private schools are going to be, the tuition is going to be set higher, but they also have big scholarships. State schools, the tuition is going to be considerably lower, but there's not going to be a lot of wiggle room for scholarships. Also have to look at the degree that you're going to graduate with and whether the price of the school is worth the degree you're going to get.
So like people that come to pharmacy here, they don't really consider the price because they're graduating with a pharmacy degree. Get that off like almost within 2 years.
Okay, the next thing that's really important to consider, which I didn't think about as much when I was in high school, but in hindsight now, I think is really important to consider. And that's just the culture of the college. So when you go on your visits, it's important to kind of feel out the vibe of what the college is going to be.
For some reason, I did not get a good vibe, or that like it was where I was supposed to be. But when I came to Butler, it felt like home. I don't really know how to describe the feeling, but it was almost like you are meant to go here type of thing. And not everyone has that feeling, but that was.
But if you do, it's a great
But if you do, then it's like, all right.
For me, everything just kind of clicked into place. I went on my visits and it felt, like she said, like home. I love the students, I love the program, and just God opened up doors for me that made it possible for me to go here, so I never really had to make that decision. And I know a lot of students are not in that situation at all, but if you feel led to a certain place, a lot of times that's where you're supposed to be. Another big factor is deciding whether you want to go to a more conservative or secular or more secular college, and whether that is a big deal for you or not.
When I first started college hunting, I was wanting a more conservative Christian school. If your faith is serious to you and you want to grow, you can do that anywhere. If you just find that one person that has the same faith as you and wants to go to church with you, then I say that you're like all set. And you have to realize that if you find those people that have the same faith as you at a school like this, they're obviously serious about it, which I think is awesome. So, you know, we're finding people at our church.
Or if you're looking for a boyfriend.
Incredibly important. Not even joking.
No, but seriously, like okay. Another part of the culture of a college, obviously there are colleges with the party reputation or just stereotype as a very competitive school. Like your Ivy League schools, you're gonna find a lot of kids who are cutthroat competitive, or at a lot of state schools, there's gonna be kids who are there to have fun and not to study. But at the same time, those are stereotypes, so don't let that hinder or scare you from going to a certain school, because you're gonna find your niche and your people at whatever type of school you go to. The culture at Butler is really cool because they really impress upon you this community of care.
Yeah, I just thought that it was more like a welcome week thing. It really is like a real thing, even as simple as like everyone holds the door open for you. Like,
right.
I feel like that's so awesome.
Yeah. Or like I don't have to worry about my bike getting stolen, which is a huge deal at like state schools. People leave their laptops at a table, go get coffee and come back and it'll still be there. The lunch ladies are so nice. So nice. Just stuff like that.
They always say good morning. They're always in a happy mood.
What is Renee? What's her name?
Renee.
We love Renee. Renee, shout out to you. Okay, and the final thing is you can research as much as you want, but the best thing to do is just go visit the school as many times as you want until you feel comfortable there. Butler has this awesome opportunity where you can actually shadow a student for an entire day. And I really love the guy that I ended up shadowing, and it gave me a great idea of what the classes were actually like, and he gave me so many insider information that helped me make my decision. We just wrote down some little things to think about asking when you do go on your visits, and not all of these may be important to you, but these are just things to consider. So the size of classes, you can ask students like, do you like your professors? The food, how is the dining hall? That doesn't seem like a very big deal, but like once you get, what kind of recreation or sport facilities. At our dorm, we have a workout center at the first floor of our dorm room, so that's awesome. It wasn't a huge deal for me, but now that I'm here, again, I also am very thankful for it. Also, if you're interested in studying abroad, ask about the programs. At Butler, they have great programs because they actually have faculty-led study abroad programs where a professor will go with you to Spain or to wherever you end up going, and so you're getting Butler credit in a foreign country.
Yeah, so especially for girls, you're like, how big is my closet? How big is the bathroom?
How new is it?
So that's one thing, you can always tour like a lot of the residential areas.
I don't think that it should be a deciding factor, but it's something to consider if you're looking at two similar schools. Air conditioning. So this video is obviously targeted for sophomores, juniors, seniors in high school who are deciding where they want to spend the next 4+ years of their life. So obviously it's a very big decision, and just the biggest thing to keep in mind is doing the research and going on visits and making sure that the college you're choosing is right for you. And like we said before, if you feel at home at a certain place, a lot of times that's where you're meant to be. But at the same time, like, if you don't know, that's okay. And you'll find friends and you'll have a great experience no matter where you go. But set yourself up to have the best opportunities that you can by doing your research. And if you're watching this video, it's okay to not know. But the most important thing to do is set yourself up to be able to go wherever you want. So that means keeping good grades and working on scholarships so that you don't have to be in the situation where you would love to go to a certain school but you didn't get in. So we wish you the best of luck, and we want to do future videos like this where we give our advice on how we got where we are and stuff we learned in high school that we want to share with you. That's what will be coming up. So if you like this video and you would like more videos like that, feel free to subscribe and we'll give you more videos like that. Bye. Bye. And the professors.
I know. This is the worst day ever. Literally flooded.
A day in the life. Be you.